Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to offer dana, then please do go to justthiszen.org/giving. Your support really does make a huge difference. Thank you so much.
Hello. How lovely to see you all. How lovely to see faces I haven't seen for a little while and new faces. And I was just thinking about how it is sitting in this curious way that we do, where we've got kind of like a lot of half bodies, haven't we, really? And and I'm always curious about, sort of whether you can still feel your feet, or whether you remember you've got knees, because you tend to focus on just this looking at the screen. So just remind yourselves you have got feet and you've got knees and you're whole people. And I've got this great privilege of sitting here and having the opportunity to talk to you. And it's a curious thing. It's a combination of huge privilege and noises and just reminding myself to be here and not to think I have to do something really special or offer you something that you've never heard before, because I don't think that's possible. And you'll all have heard the teachings many times. And I remember Flint saying once or twice, he's probably said, you keep inviting me back and I keep telling you the same thing and you invite me back again. And the wonderful thing about being part of this Sangha, and it's wonderful to see, sort of all of you, and it's wonderful to welcome you, Patricia, to our community, and is that there are many voices. And we are all those voices, not just the ones who sit in this position. We are all those voices that contribute to each other's awakening. And I've got in my hand a stone because I'm going to introduce you to a little video later on. We're going to watch a short video later on, and I think if this talk had any sort of title, I think it might be Conversation with an Ordinary Stone. And the question then, of course, is there such a thing as an ordinary stone? But first of all, I'd just like to say a really deep thank you to all the teachings that I have listened to and been part of this last week. Began with, and if you haven't listened to them, please do. I listened to Flint's talk from last week. I was away, and he gave a talk that was called "Too Busy," and in that he was asking the question about can my heart remain alive in the activity that I'm offering you? I think that's a really huge question. Am I here? Is my heart here? Is all of me here? And then on Monday, Josh gave a talk to Nothing Special, which was another delight, and if you haven't listened to it, please do. And he was talking, well, the little phrase that came at the beginning was, I saw you and you saw me. For a moment we were free. And he was talking very much about the arrival of the new baby that you have in your family, Josh and Trudy, and the meeting, how we meet each other, and how we meet each other again, I think, with our hearts open. And then Trudy gave a talk at Inquiry this last week, and asking the question, what do we carry forward? What do we honour? What do we hold on to? And what can we let go of some of the ideas and the things that we have? So all of those are still rippling through me, as you can hear. And we're going to listen or watch a little bit later on a video that I came across a little while ago, which is a video that is offered by a Zen center called Sonoma Mountain Center, which was founded by Jakusho Kwong and his wife, Laura Kwong, and they were both students of Suzuki Roshi's. And Suzuki Roshi is the founder of our lineage, and he came to America in the late 1950s, early 1960s, and he taught for only, I think, about 12 years. But the ripples of the stone that he threw in the pond have been absolutely enormous, and we are some of those ripples. This Sangha is some of those ripples. And we will go to the video at the end, and I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to preempt it. I'd like to leave you with your own flavour of it and your own feel of it. But one of the things that it talks about in that video, it talks about finding a stone for his stupa, which is his memorial, and also it talks about, I was really curious about the fact that it talks about the fact that one of the things apparently Suzuki Roshi used to do on a regular basis was move the stones about in the stream at Tassajara. And I thought, what is he doing when he's moving stones? He moved them all around, and then he moved them and he said, you can't tell the difference. Well, no. And so I thought, is that what I'm doing, sitting here talking to you, moving the stones around, and you won't be able to tell the difference, but for this moment you're listening to me. And I want to meet you as fully as I can, as fully as Josh talked about, and to be here with you. And really, I could talk about all sorts of things, couldn't I? But stones were something that I was really curious about, because it feels like stones occur in a lot of Suzuki Roshi's writings, and also they're in the writings of Dogen Zenji, who is the founder of Zen in Japan. And I thought, what's all this thing about stones? What's so special about a stone? And so that's why I've got one. And mine is, I bet you've all got at home somewhere a stone that is precious to you, that Cassie's looking for hers now. I can tell. Now, the stone that you maybe found when you were when you were at a particular place, or it reminds you of somebody, or it has some significance to you, and I guess it's a sort of memorial in a way, in that way, but. When I began to think about that, and I began to think about, well, this little video, one of the things about it is the beginnings of the video I found really, really touching. And it begins with a journey to the place, to the centre. And I want you to sort of close your eyes for a moment. Don't look at me, just close your eyes for a moment. And just imagine that you're sitting in a vehicle, it's probably a car, and you can see out through the window. And as you go along, you can see the landscape going past you. And you might see trees, you might see mountains, you might see grass, whatever you see. And then you arrive at this place and the vehicle stops and you get out. And the first thing that happens is you hear the sound of the temple bell, a loud bell. And it probably rings all the way through you. And then when you're standing there, somebody comes to greet you and they're going to take you up a pathway and on your journey. And I think, that's what we're doing a lot of the time. You can open your eyes again if you want to. And I guess that's what I'm doing, taking you on a little journey, a little pathway over stones. And I was thinking about, in the beginnings of Suzuki Roshi's book, Becoming Yourself, one of the first things that he says that really sort of touched me, he said, when you're in the woods, can you feel the woods? And I'm not going to do the whole quote, but that's the essence of it, is can we feel the world? And that's a question I've been sitting with. Can I feel the world? Rather than just looking at it, having opinions of it, having reactions to it. Can I feel it? Can you feel it? I wonder what you're feeling as you're sitting now. You may be, like me, feeling that your body is warm. Mine is. Having some sense of the space that you're sitting in. And in my case, I'm holding a stone. That's getting warm too. And I was thinking, how do you begin to even think about what is a stone? And I've got a lovely poem that I've discovered that really made me giggle, and it might make you giggle. But it's also deep as well. And it's called Conversation with a Stone. And it's by somebody whose name I can't pronounce, Uzala Satimborska. There we go, that was a good attempt, wasn't it? I knock at the stone's front door. It's only me, let me come in, I want to enter your insides and have a look around. Breathe my fill of you. Go away, says the stone. I'm shut tight. Even if you break me to pieces, we'll all still be closed. You can grind us to sand, but we still won't let you in. I knock at the stone's front door. It's only me. Let me come in. I've come out of pure curiosity. Only life can quench it. I mean to stroll through your palace, to go on calling on a leaf, a drop of water. I haven't got much time. My mortality should touch you. I'm made of stone, said the stone, and must therefore keep a straight face. Go away. I don't have the muscles to laugh. I knock at the stone's front door. It's only me. Let me come in. I hear you have great empty halls inside of you, unseen, their beauty in vain, soundless, not echoing anyone's footsteps. Admit you don't know them well yourself. Great and empty, true enough, said the stone. But there isn't any room, beautiful perhaps, but not to the taste of your poor senses. You may get to know me, but you'll never know me through. My whole surface is turned toward you, all my insides are turned away. I knock at the stone's front door. It's only me, let me come in. I don't seek refuge for eternity. I'm not unhappy, I'm not homeless. My world is worth returning to. I'll enter and exit empty-handed, and my proof I was there will only be words which no one will believe. You shall not enter, said the stone. You lack the sense of taking part. No other sense can make up for your missing sense of taking part. Even sight heightened to becoming all-seeing will do you no good without any sense of taking part. You shall not enter. You have only a sense of what that sense should be, only the very seed in your imagination. I knock at the stone's front door. It is only me, let me come in. I haven't got 2,000 centuries, so let me come under your roof. If you don't believe me, says the stone, just ask the leaf. It'll tell you the same. And a drop of water. It will tell you what the leaf has said. And finally, ask a hair from your own head. I am bursting with laughter. Yes, vast laughter, although I don't know how to laugh. I knock at the stone's front door. It's only me. Let me come in. I don't have a door, says the stone. And it doesn't have a door. And they don't have a door. But stones seem to have a real impact and a deep meaning in Zen practice. Suzuki Roshi tells us that when my English wasn't good enough to read Alan Watts' book on Zen, he expressed its point to me like this. When a stone is completely a stone, that is a real stone. That's how we put our Zen into words. When a stone is completely a stone, that's when a stone is completely a stone through and through. That's really a stone. Not only is it really a stone, but it is really a stone. It includes everything. When the stone is really a stone, it cannot be picked up by anyone. When it is not a stone, someone may pick it up, but when it's really a stone, no one can. No one can do anything with it. When a stone is really a stone, if you think you are picking it up, you cannot. It is part of the universe, and you cannot pick up the whole universe. To pick up that stone, or to pick up the whole universe, you'd be outside of the universe. You'd be a ghost. Nothing exists outside of the universe. All that exists is within the universe. To think you can pick up a stone is a delusion. The whole universe. But it's just an ordinary stone. And everything is in it. And I was just remembering in the conversation with the stone, the same is true of the hair on your head. Everything is in it. The whole universe. When I was away last week, I was away in the caravan, and we were next to a forest, and I could sit with my chair outside the caravan, and the trees were right there. And I was still thinking about and working with the how do you feel the world, and I was feeling the forest. And you can't describe it, can you? What does a forest feel like? I only know what I felt. And there's a very beautiful poem by somebody called Billy Collins, who was an American poet. And I think he expresses this much better than I can. The best time is late afternoon. This poem is called Directions. The best time is late afternoon, when the sun strobes through the columns of trees you're hiking up, and when you find an agreeable track to sit on, you'll be able to see the light pouring down into the woods and breaking into the shapes and tones of things, and you will hear nothing but a sprig of bird song, or the leafy falling of a cone, or not through the trees. And if this is your day, you might even spot a hare, or feel the wing beats of geese driving overhead toward some distant destination. But it is hard to speak of these things, how the voices of light enter the body and begin to recite their stories, how the earth holds us painfully against its breast made of humus and brambles, how we who will soon be gone regard the entities that continue to return greener than ever, spring water flowing through a meadow, and the shadows of clouds passing over the hills, and the ground where we stand in the tremble of thought, taking the vast outside into ourselves. Where we stand in the tremble of thought, taking the vast outside into ourselves. And it's not just a stone. So in a moment, we'll watch the video, which is only 5 minutes long. And my invitation is to bring your heart to the activity and see what this video brings to you. Thank you. I'll see if I can share it, and if not, Trudy's going to. So.
Well, we're going down to Suzuki Roshi's stupa. Suzuki Roshi died 1971. So we built this in 1984 and had a special ceremony where many people were invited to come. We got the stone. Actually, we had to go all the way down to Tassajara in the riverbed in order to get the right stone. Kwong Roshi had to drive down, and we had to put it on a truck. Tassajara was Suzuki Roshi's favorite spot, and it's considered our mother temple. So naturally, we want to go to where the source of the energy is to get it right from the riverbed, where he was so fond of moving those stones. He actually removed all those stones in the riverbed, and after he finished doing that, people would say, "Oh, you could hardly tell," and that was the point. They are looking for this very special stone for this very special teacher. Okay, so, but what was amusing about it is that it's always about the one you're stepping on, the most ordinary one, the one that's closest to you is the stone, is the right one. So that's what the joke was, to say, oh, there it is, the one that you're stepping right on. And then when they looked at it, they said, oh yeah, that's a perfect stone. And it sort of represents Suzuki Roshi, because that was actually how he was, very ordinary. Physically, he was actually a very small man. Doesn't seem like a very extroverted kind of person at all. Very quiet, very reflective, and actually very deep. So what I felt with him, though, when I'm with him, I just feel this extraordinary calmness, this extraordinary depth, and also being seen through. So his presence make me feel the transparency in myself. But I think what I mean is that, like whenever he's giving a talk, I feel that I'm receiving everything. It comes in through my whole being, and I would nod and feel very touched by it, and following right along, feeling it very deeply, appreciating it. And then, but when I get up and I walk out of the room, and I would say, that was such a wonderful, wonderful talk. And then somebody would say, well, what did he say? I would feel so embarrassed because I can't even remember exactly what he said, but I knew that it was very deep. And I think it's that kind of teaching, his style, that it really touches you, so that maybe 5 years later, there might be sort of like a aha experience, and I got it then. If there were 30, 50 people in the room, they all walk out of there and they say, I know he's talking to me. So that's why I feel that he was such a powerful person, because he doesn't reach you sort of right at once. You know, it's almost as if the teaching permeates into the person, and then as you practice, like right now, I mean, I would say that's what he meant. I mean, after 10 years later.
Sometimes I may be delusion. You may overestimate. He is a good teacher. That is already delusion, a kind of delusion. I'm, your friend. I'm just practicing with you.
Thank you, Lynne. We'll move into breakout rooms, so you'll get a little invitation to move into a breakout room, and we'll have about 20 minutes there. Thank you.